Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about stepper motor characteristics. In last class we discussed about the construction and working of stepper motor and different mode of operation of the stepper motor. So in this class we are going to discuss about the multi-stack system and then we are going with the characteristics. So as of now we discussed about the single stack which it will have an stator and the rotor. Whereas if we are going with a multi-stack, the m number of stacks will be connected. That is, the number of stacks at the stator and rotor will be interconnected with m number of times. So the more than 3 or more than 6 or 12 number of stacks you can able to connect for some simple applications. Here the advantage of using this is you can able to having an n number of stack for single application. You can able to change the angle or tooth pitch with respect to the given application. For example, for a given structure where we are having an stator, outer cover stack will be an stator and the inner will be an rotor, and all the rotor stack will be connected with a single shaft. And another thing is the number of teeth or poles in your rotor will be same as your stator poles. So the poles will be same. This type of structure is said to be a cascade type variable reluctance stepper motor. And this kind of M stack, which we already discussed, will have same number of poles in stator and rotor. The M stack of rotor will have the rotor pole teeth displaced by 1 by m of the pole pitch angle. Here the m represents the number of phases. Okay. In further, for consider a system, here we are having a number of phases will be 3 phases and the stack will be 3 stack. You assume this is stack 1, stack 2 and stack 3, which all are connected with each phases. If we are having 3-phase stator system with 3 stack system, the number of phases m will be equal to 3 and total number of rotor teeth considered for this construction will be 12 poles or 12 teeth rotors, and the pole pitch will be 30 degree. For 3 phase the pole pitch will be 30 degree. For single phase the pole pitch can be calculated as 360 divided by nr. For each phases it will further calculated as a step angle 360 divided by f into nr, where m is the number of phases 3 and nr will be the number of poles or number of teeth in your rotor, which is equal to the stator will be 12 here. So it will be 360 degree divided by 36, which is equal to 10 degree. So from that we know that your rotor will be displaced 1/3 of the pole pitch. So the total pole pitch for this 3 phase will be 30 degree, means the pole pitch for each rotor stack will be equal to 10 degree. So if I am going to energize this single phase, you assume this stack A as an A dash and this is B dash, this is C dash, means if I energize A and A dash, then the rotor stack will be in 0 degree. If I am going to energize this B and B dash, what happens is, here you just consider this as an stator teeth and this is an rotor teeth. Here the stator teeth and rotor teeth are in line, which means it will be in 0 degree. If I am de-energize the A and A dash and then going with an B and B dash get energized, it will change its initial position to 10 degree phase shift. So that is said to be the degree of rotation or degree of step created by your stack system. Okay. So next we will go with the characteristics of your stepper motor. Normally the characteristics of any machine can be classified into 2 types. One is static and another one is dynamic. Static means irrespective of your time how your parameters in the system will get changed. Dynamic means with considering the change in time how your parameter will get changed. So the static will be classified into 2 types. One is torque angle curve and another one is torque current curve. So the torque angle curve is defined as whenever the angle increases or step angle changes, your torque will create a sinusoidal waveform. So the torque angle curve explains that as the step angle increases, your torque will have created a sinusoidal waveform, and the maximum point in your torque will denoted as an holding torque. What I mean by holding and detent torque is, the holding torque is defined as the maximum load torque which energizes the stepper motor to make the stepper motor to be in an equilibrium position. Without slipping from that equilibrium position, it has to hold the stepper motor steps. So that will be denoted as an holding torque. It is then vice versa will be the detent torque. The detent torque will be the maximum load torque which is then unenergize the stepper motor to make the stepper motor to move from its equilibrium position. In other words, it withstand the slipping position. Next we will go with a torque current curve. Normally the torque and current are directly proportional. Similar to that in your stepper motor also, as the torque increases with respect to the current increases, so the graph will be linear in nature. At one particular point your torque and current curve will be saturated. So that point is said to be the maximum torque or the holding torque. After that it will be in a slipping from the system, and that maximum point is said to be the holding torque position, and at that point the current will be the rated current or the maximum loading current of your stepper motor. Here the torque constant is defined as the torque sensitivity of the system. So next, the dynamic characteristics, where in a stepper motor, if we are considering the time parameter, that is turning on and off period of your system, the dynamic characteristics can be classified into start-stop mode and another one is sleeving mode. So the start-stop mode, initially if you are turning on the system, that is you are going to give one single pulse, which we already discussed in the construction. For A and A dash, it is connected with a switch S1, B and B dash, it is connected with a switch S2. Like that, if you are going to energize A and A dash, you have to trigger the switch S1. For that, whenever you are giving pulse for S1, assume this is A and A dash energization. Whenever you are giving the pulse S1, your waveform will get increases with respect to the angle to your time duration, and it reach the equilibrium position or saturation region or the resting point, and once it reach the resting point, then only the next pulse is going to given to your system. So the starting mode will have start and the pulse will get stopped, and the second pulse will triggered once it reach the resting position. When the next pulse is triggered, again the maximum point it will reach, and it will reach the resting position or steady state position. After that, the third pulse is going to be. So this type of start-stop mode will be the starting mode of your stepper motor. So the next one will be the sleeving mode. Normally the sleeving modes are used in the stepper motor only when the machine is in running condition. That is, whenever we are going with a sleeving mode, initially your machine has to start with the start-stop mode. After that, when it reaches the synchronization, then it will going with the sleeving mode. What is the synchronization is that it will reach the equilibrium point. Normally the sleeving mode of the motor will be in synchronization, but it cannot be started or stopped without losing synchronization. So whenever we are going with the sleeving mode, always your sleeving mode will be in synchronization medium. So you cannot able to start or stop the machine by using the sleeving mode. So you are going to start or stop the machine by switching to start-stop mode, and once it started or once it conducted, then we are going with the sleeving mode operation. So the last characteristics will be torque speed characteristics. We already know as the load increases, the torque will get increased. At that time the speed will get decreased. So the y-axis will be the torque and x-axis will be the number of steps or speed. As the speed increases, you just consider this torque will gradually coming down. So as the number of steps increases with respect to the decrease in the torque. So you assume this A, B, C will be and O. This region will be denoted as a pull-in curve. We already know whenever you are turning on the stepper motor has to be turned on at start-stop. So this region A, B, C, O, A, this region is assumed to be the response region where the pull-in curve is in practice. That is the start-stop mode operation. This torque and speed characteristics will be happen. And you assume this A, B, C, E, D, A. This area covering will be due to the conduction period, or once the machine started at start-stop mode. After that, while in conduction mode, it will go back to its sleeving range or sleeving mode operation. This type of operation is said to be pull-out curve, where the characteristics of your torque and speed will be like this. So by considering your stepper motor at loaded condition, your machine have initially A, B, C, O conduction region, and once it reaches the synchronization and it goes to the sleeving mode operation, your torque and speed characteristics will be of the range A, B, C, E, D, A region. So next class we will discuss about BLDC machine and servo machine. Thank you.